Hello, everyone. My name is Greg Sullivan, and welcome to the 13th and final episode of my tutorial series on recreating the Apple Fitness Plus interface using React and advanced CSS techniques. If you've played along so far, you might think we're done. You might look at what you've achieved and say, what else is there to do? I've got CSS grid animating dynamically. I've got state working. I'm using a JSON metadata file to do coordinated animations with a video. I've got the typography scaling dynamically. I've done so many great advanced things. What else is there to do? Well, it's that last little bit of push that separates, your standard products from that kind of Apple level fit and finish. And that's what we're going to do in this tutorial. We're going to clean up some files. We're going to add some filtered drop shadows to our SVGs. We're just going to do a little bit of cleanup to make everything sing. We're going to finish strong so we can be really proud of the finished product and achieve what we set out to 13 episodes ago. So there's nothing left to do but get after it. Let's go. First thing we want to do is take the burn bar and put that down. Instead of putting the placement at 0.5, set the burn bar dynamically. So now when we simulate progress on the burn bar in the metadata, it will move during the workout. Fantastic. And then we have the heart rate, same situation, but we want to create a component out of heart rate because there's a little bit more work to do there. Let's quickly create that component. We've done it before, so I'm just going to speed through it. Okay, we want to grab our CSS. First, we want to create our CSS. We want to move our heart SVG into a heart rate assets folder. And we want to import that here. Drop our image in here. Correct the typing here. TypeScript keeping us honest. Forgot to put the S on the timing here, 1.5 seconds. And there is our heart beating. I think everything's looking great. I think it's working. Just doing a quick bit of cleanup. We'll fast forward through my cleaning up the files. Grouping these by their type. These are external assets. These are components. This is the data. Run prettier on here. Clean up all the CSS. So tidy. Okay, we are pretty much done. Let's just do a little bit more housekeeping. Let's tidy it up a little bit. For example, I hate that I am calling this timer. That's confusing. There's more than one timer. So we're going to do F2. We're going to call this timer value. That should rename it everywhere. and make that variable a little less obnoxiously named. I don't like how thick these border radiuses are. They don't quite look like they do here. They're a little too big. So we're going to go over here to the info box CSS. We're going to change that border radius to, let's call it 0.5 or 0.75. This is the fun part where you really get to dial it in. There's something else to notice. There's these little drop shadows around the text, little text shadows. So let's do that too. But if you look closely, it isn't just the text that has the shadows. It's also the various elements, the countdown timers, the heart, and all of that stuff. So we're going to do a trick to make those easily editable and matching. So first we're going to do a variable text shadow. And it's really small, so we're just going to say 0, 0, and we'll go 2 pixels. And then we're going to make it black. I'm not going to keep it black. I'm just going to take advantage of this here and set this down to 0.25. The next thing we're going to do is an SVG shadow. The way you do an SVG shadow is you say drop shadow, then you say var text shadow. So the SVG shadow is actually going to get a drop shadow filter that is exactly matched. Oops, nested some vars on accident. That is exactly matched to the text shadow. So as you change things, you'll get that. So for the info box H1s, they're all H1s, so it's going to be pretty easy to add a text shadow. We're just going to say var text shadow. And you can see those really subtle shadows. We'll make them fully opaque and maybe do 4 pixels. 8 pixels. Getting pretty big, but I am trying to make it so you can see it. So let's go back to 4 and put this down to 0.25. Again, we're going for subtlety. We're not trying to be obnoxious. Just a little bit of pop. All right, that's looking good. I might bring this back up to 0.5. Okay, so now how do we go about adding this to all of our images? Let's do that now. Working from top to bottom, let's open up the CSS for our interval timer. And we have our clock holder image. So let's go filter. And we're going to say var SVG shadow. And now you can see that subtle little drop shadow there. Let's copy that since we're going to use that a few more times, working down from top to bottom. The next SVG we need to worry about is in the total time. And that is in the progress holder. And there's that drop shadow there. Next one is in the heart rate. Then we'll put that on the heart rate image. Cleaning up as we go. That looks fantastic. And we could put it into the burn bar, but the burn bar doesn't have any kind of shadows here. And that is pretty much all there is left to do. Let's review what we've done. Well, that's it. We're done. Oh, come on. I spelled value wrong. Got to rename this variable again. Value. And fix my alignment. There it is. Look how well we've been able to replicate this bit of interface from one of the best teams in the world using React, HTML, CSS, and just a lot of attention to detail. We've got a lot of great techniques on the screen. I hope you've learned a lot. I hope you're more comfortable in React. I hope the CSS is something that you're a little more excited about than you were when you started. If you're still itching to work, there's still more to do. maybe you could figure out how to add that little bit of gradient to the radial progress tracker like they do on the progress rings at Apple. Maybe you could plus the JSON file to add information about the song that's playing so that it pops up a bit of cover art and shows the artist. Apple does that. Perhaps you could add Apple's little rings or get creative and do your own things. You should be really proud of the work you've done. I'm very excited to see your versions of this project. My version of the project is on my GitHub, and I am accepting pull requests. If you found some really great way to do something better, or you found some egregious error of mine and fixed it, I will happily include that and merge that into the project that I'm sharing around. So thanks so much for sticking with me. I hope you felt there was some value here. And if there's a good reaction to this series, maybe I'll do some more in the future. My name is Greg Sullivan. I love answering your questions in the comments, and I'm very excited every time somebody shares a better technique so that I can learn from you. So please continue to interact in the comments, and I will see you around the internet. Thanks.